Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your mid-month 2024 December reading. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Ellena, and let's just jump right in and see what Spirit has in store for you for, the remainder of 2024. Let's see. Whoa! Oh my gosh, that one just jumped out. Lightheartedness. Lightheartedness is something that wants to come through. It's time for you to let your inner child out to play. So yeah, there's a lot of happy healing energy here. Time for you to have more fun. Maybe like for the past couple months or a couple weeks, you've had to really focus a lot on stuff. You haven't really taken the time to nurture your inner child. So Spirit really wants you to kind of go with the flow in life and kind of enjoy the process of unfolding in your life here. Interesting. So many cards went flying out. Okay, I think this one came in second. Spiritual Path is your second card. It says, making time for your spiritual practice will assist you with clearing your mind and restoring your inner peace. So yeah, this seems to be a theme for the rest of the month. Generally, the first two cards are cards that kind of lead the energies, and they're a big feature of the next few weeks for you. And so when I see this, I really think that Spirit wants you to just start to reconnect with yourself. Go into your Akashic records and perhaps start healing, programs and beliefs that no longer resonate with you, or even just like going for a meditative walk. Like meditation doesn't necessarily have to just be kind of being in a seated position and just kind of visualizing things. It can be, but I feel like a meditative state is also a channeling state when you're doing the things that you love. So if you're like writing music, for instance, or writing your story, or doing a painting, or creating something, that is also a very meditative act, and is actually grounding that healing energy more and more into your physical body. So I feel like the next 2 weeks or the remainder of December, it's really about just nurturing yourself in terms of following your passions. And this also can mean some people's passions is going out to eat or like treating themselves out or something. That is also something that Spirit wants to kind of focus on as well. So, which is really nice. Blessing in disguise. Interesting. You are being asked to not prejudge your current set of circumstances. Interesting. And 35, when I add those numbers up, it's 8. So maybe there's a karmic release happening here. Maybe there was something where maybe you felt like you were in a karmic wheel or karmic lesson that you couldn't seem to shake out of, and things have happened in such a way where you had to kind of face certain things to kind of release it finally. And sometimes, the universe pushes us in a corner, so we have no choice but to kind of look at our circumstances and then look at the choices that we make or programs that we have that kind of perpetuate our circumstances. And this is not to say like you attracted this type of, circumstance to you. It just means that sometimes we have to see things over and over again in order for it to get our attention, to realize what we really want to create in our future. So something about our past, something that was happening in your past wasn't really good for you, but it's almost like it had to be brought up to the forefront of your reality to make you feel a little bit uncomfortable in terms of like, oh man, I need to make some changes here because this isn't working for me. So I feel like maybe, I think the week before or like maybe a month before, things were unfolding in a way where maybe it didn't make sense at the time. But I do feel like this week there's been a lot of clarity for you. You understand that everything has been working in your favor, and there's a lightness to this. It's like you release a heavy burden. Maybe you felt like you had a lot of responsibilities. Maybe too many people depended on you. Maybe you were spreading your energies too much. Maybe maybe people didn't really appreciate you. There's something that happened here where you release some major things. So it's either I feel people have left a job that may have caused way too much stress. Maybe they remove themselves from friend groups that no longer bring them joy, or they have broken up with their partner because things were not fulfilling for them. I do feel like this week you have already removed yourself from those things, and now you're gaining more clarity with this. And you feel much better about it. Like, you feel happier, you feel lighter, you feel like more free. So, which is wonderful. Oh, interesting. The blame game. Interesting. Look at that. That looks like a lot of chaos there. And it says it's time to take ownership of the life you are creating. Yeah. I feel like sometimes when we're busy with life, sometimes we go on autopilot and we don't realize that we are maybe just settling in our comfort zone rather than living at our most highest potential or whatever. You know, it's almost like I feel like whatever happened made it so you got very clear. Like, you couldn't look at other people and say, you know, try to change your external circumstances or try to control your external circumstances. I think something has happened where you had no choice but to stop what you were doing and kind of look within and realize that if your external reality is not shifting or it's not something that makes you happy, you took ownership of that in knowing that you needed to redirect your focus on the things that do make you happy. So it meant pouring more into your own cup, cutting people off, refocusing your energies onto your goals versus maybe focusing on other people and what they wanted to do. It's like you're taking accountability and responsibility for your life. And I think that's a really powerful place to be, Sagittarius. And I think that's like amazing for you. And I feel, oh, interesting, heavy heart. Time to nurture your emotional wounds. Yeah, I feel like whatever happened here, I feel like there's a lot of heartache or a lot of pain. And, you know, let's say maybe you were around people that didn't appreciate you or were not there for you when you thought that they would be. So maybe the sense of like wanting to close yourself up a little bit, or you don't trust people as much anymore. I think Spirit wants you to know that, like, we understand that you've gone through, you know, a traumatic experience. However, they also really want you to not stay too long in that space. Like, it's important to heal. Yes, what you went through was traumatic and awful, and I feel like Spirit wants you to not harden your heart. They want you to see the blessings as much as you can, go through your emotional processes, and like understand that with forgiveness of other people and also of yourself. Because if you feel like, you know, if you blame yourself, that doesn't really help, right? Like, it's not like you don't take ownership of maybe the role you played, but it's almost like you're not victim to your story. You're just kind of, you realize that things happen for a bigger plan for you, even though it's uncomfortable at this time. And in order to have lightheartedness, you have to be able to keep those barriers around your heart like kind of down and like dismantled, because I feel like in order to attract more of that lightheartedness, you have to almost be vulnerable, you know? So you have to kind of let go of the past or whatever happened to you here. I'm not saying that you know, you're gonna forget everything. Like, you can remember stuff, you can forgive people, but you can also like understand that that's what happened to you, and to not gaslight yourself to thinking that didn't happen to you. You can just move on with an open heart, with forgiveness, but to know and learn from your experience to never let that happen again, or to have stronger boundaries, and ultimately to love yourself more, because this is, you know, Earth is a learning playground here. So if you feel like somebody, for instance, betrayed you, it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It's not a bad thing that you trusted this person. It's not, you know, it's not a bad thing to be open to people. You know, the people have free will choice. You didn't attract that to you for like a reason, or it's almost like you have to understand that people have free will. And sometimes when they choose poorly or they do something with ill intention, that's their own karma. And trust that spirit is protecting you, and to know that they won't allow you to keep doing that again or to keep experiencing that again, because that's not fair to you. So with that being said, let's see what the other message wants to come through. Sorry if you hear knocking noises. Maybe you have company coming over. Maybe you have people. Maybe it's like time to rejuvenate by hanging out with some friends. Good company, you know, something like that. So let's see. Okay, spiritual path. So you got like 2 cards that says spiritual practice and spiritual path. Here it says your true beliefs are becoming clearer to you, which prompts you to make necessary life changes. And turquoise is always about higher heart communication, speaking about what's on your heart and mind. And a lot of times we heal with our energies, right? Like it's changing our belief systems, really looking at them, seeing what works for us and what doesn't, and then making that decision to kind of implement and embody those new beliefs that are more healthy for us. And I feel like you're in that process of healing right now. Like this is something that you went through. I do feel like this is a past energy, and you're healing. So you're moving more into a more peaceful state, because you are doing the energy work, and to kind of surrender to the flow of that. You can't really control the pace of it at this time, and to take it easy on yourself. That's what I'm getting from spirit. Angel light, look at that. Beautiful. Spiritual and religious community. Join with like-minded people for friendship and increased spiritual growth. So this card kind of also kind of suggests, like, you know, there's things that we heal. We change our beliefs. We heal our energy. But sometimes we need that extra help with, I don't know, maybe getting a reading from someone, or maybe someone does light language or sound healing, Reiki, like something more to kind of shake up and remove that excess unwanted energy that maybe we can't seem to access. So this is where your community comes in. So I feel like it's important to kind of follow your gut in terms of what modality to use to kind of assist you in healing from this traumatic experience that you went through. Another thing I mentioned as well, like I'm just like, sometimes, you know, we already release the energy, but it's in our physical bodies, and we still have to take time to kind of release it in our physical bodies. So sometimes yoga, stretching, exercising can kind of shake that extra energy out on a physical level, going in nature, grounding your energies to Mother Earth and kind of having her release that for you, going for massage to kind of shake up more things, to kind of release toxins, and detox is really important. So I think, you know, the remainder of the year, I feel like spirit is really asking you to take it easy on yourself, and to just kind of, you know, start clearing things out with the help of your spiritual community. So, is there any other messages you would like for Sagittarius? So at this time, oh my goodness, your cards keep popping out. Yo, yeah. So these 2 cards want to come out. It says Nourishment, and then it says Storm Wisdom. I'm going to bring this up a little bit closer here. Look how beautiful that card is. There's a lot of reds here. It's a lot of, I want to say anger, but that's where forgiveness comes in. It's about grounding your energy. Sometimes, like when we're angry, to me, anger is very similar to the energy of passion, except one is destructive, whereas passion is creative. So it's about channeling this energy into something positive. So I don't know if you want to start creating something, start writing something, singing it out, building something. to kind of get that energy out of your energy field and into something physical, like a painting or some sort. It's really important here at this time. It says nourishment. So Spirit really is re-emphasizing how important it is to take care of yourself and to rest during this period, because what you went through, even though you're out of it, I feel like you're out of this. I feel like it's still there in terms of like needing to kind of decompress from it. Sometimes when we're in it, we don't realize how long we've been kind of dealing with this type of heaviness until we're out of it. But then even when we're out of it, we need time to reflect and see how far we've come. And perhaps we react differently versus how we would have reacted before. And that kind of cultivates grace, and as you get to observe how far you've come and how much growth you've had in your life. So the second card here is Storm Wisdom, Petersite. This is a very kind of like a tower moment card, realizations, epiphanies, in understanding what this meant for you. A lot of clarity is coming through this tower moment, through this destruction or letting go of things, to reveal a more, lightheartedness, a more fun approach. And I feel like this is also a karma card. And I feel like, karma comes for everyone. If you're putting good in the world, good things will come for you. If people are putting negative stuff in the world, trust that that will be dealt with the way that it needs to. So Spirit is saying, like, these tower moments that are happening around you, or maybe this chaos that may be feeling that's going around you, know that it's happening to shed out these old paradigms, old realities that no longer represent who you are and who you're becoming. And they also say just let it happen. Just surrender and let it happen. Know that you are supported. Keep focusing on what makes you happy, and keep focusing on your blessings, and trust that, this will kind of take care of itself, and to forgive the situation and not hold it in your heart, because you're going to be moving into new things and you don't want to carry such heavy energy with you as you're embarking into the new things, because it will affect what you're going to attract in your future moving forward. So embrace this healing chapter of your life. Embrace taking care of yourself and nourishing yourself at this time. So thank you again for tuning in to your December mid-month reading. If you like this video, feel free to like, subscribe, and share. I really appreciate it. It really helps my channel. And thank you so much for tuning in, and I will talk to you later. Okay, bye.